So this is Foundation English 1, Sem 1, common to all UG first years. We have Unit 3.3 today, the Magic Brocade. It's a Chinese tale about a widow known for her beautiful brocades and her son Chen. The widow's skill with the loom is legendary, creating life-like images with silver, gold, and colored silk. You can see she'd be making those beautiful brocades with all these different kinds of images, with all these three kinds of materials, like she's making with silver, gold, and colored silks. She's a legendary in making those things. So now the story is going to be all about what is this with that, what is that they come across in their day-to-day life, and how they happen to come across that. This is the lesson all about the short story. The widow's inspiration. The widow sees a scroll showing Sun Palace, a beautiful palace with gardens. She wants to live in a place like this. So the scroll is, it's a beautiful scroll with a magnificent palace and gardens. The widow's desire. The widow wants to live in a place like the one on the scroll. So when she happens to go to the market, she would see this beautiful, beautiful brocade lying there in the one of the shops. And what she will try to do is she will be trying to see that, admire that, and that will become an inspiration for her. She feels that one day, why I should not live in a palace like this, such a beautiful palace? Why is that we couldn't go and stay in such places? Why is that we are so poor? All this comes in her mind because of that beautiful little palace which she found in that piece of brocade which was hanging in the shop. Now Chen's suggestion. Now what she'll do, she'll come home and she'll be talking with her son. The widow shows the scroll to her son Chen, who suggests weaving it into a brocade. She embraces the idea and begins weaving. So when she says the sun palace which she saw in that beautiful one, he says, he gives one idea to her. Why can't you make it in your weaving? And this lady starts weaving. Okay, the widow's passion. She dedicates herself to weaving the scroll into a brocade. Chen supports his mother by cutting wood and selling it for a living. So when she is not working, like she's only into this part, what happens? The family must be maintained. So Chen goes to work and he supports his mother by cutting wood and selling it for a living. All that they make. Now all the hours, all the time, Chen's mother is only dedicating herself to make this beautiful brocade, which has got that sun palace in it. Now the widow's dedication. When you see, the widow weaves day and night, neglecting her household duties. She weaves her tears into a river and her blood into blood red flowers. So see how nicely she's weaving. It's beautiful. The palace comes out day by day so nicely in the brocade. Like she's forgetting her daily household chores, and she makes her tears. She's very, it's a hard working job, right? And her tears are made into river and her blood into the beautiful red flowers. All this is happening now. Weaving day and night, this is the first point. The widow dedicates herself to weaving the scroll into a brocade, and tears and blood, she weaves her tears into a river and her blood into the river. The finished brocade, after months of work, the brocade is finally completed. But then what happens? The brocade's disappearance. The widow shows the finished brocade to her son, but a wind lifts it into the sky. She faints and falls ill. Beautiful brocade is made and she shows it to her son. When she is showing it, a wind, a wind lifts it, like it carries it. It's a fast flying wind. It carries it and it is taken it and it is taking the brocade into the skies. The widow shows the finished brocade to her son. The wind lifts the brocade and the widow faints and falls ill. So now she is ill. Now Chen's journey. What happens? Chen sets out to find the brocade. He encounters an old woman who tells him the fairies have taken it and offers to guide him to the sun palace. So she only guides him that, okay, must the fairies must have taken it. You better uh, go through this way, and you will reach the sun palace and all that kind of things. The old lady tries to guide him out. So see, fairies have taken the Brocade. Journey passes through fiery mountain, icy. So it's how the journey is. She only guides it. He'll be running through the fiery mountains, and then he'll be crossing icy sea. All that will happen with the help, with one help of an horse. And one she'll be giving him an horse, and in the horse only he will ride. And all this will happen during his journey to the Sun Palace. Chen at Sun Palace. Chen reaches Sun Palace and finds fairies weaving copies of his mother's brocade. He asks for his return, and the fairies promise to return it after finishing their work. So they start weaving, sitting and seeing his mother's work. They will start learning how to do this weaving, and mother's brocade will be a kind of a like they will be keeping it as a piece of model, and they'll be doing it. So the fairies are weaving copies of the widow's brocade. Chen finds the fairies in a golden palace. So now what happens next? The return of the brocade. Chen falls asleep while watching the fairies weave. Lane, a fairy, embroiders a portrait of herself on the brocade before returning it to Chen. So now Chen falls asleep, and finally they will make one copy of themselves, and they will give it back to Chen. Now Chen brings it home, and he will safeguard his mother. And finally what happens? The fairies would come home, and that Lee and fairy will be will be falling in love with this fellow, and all the three once again goes back to the beautiful Sun Palace, and they live a happy life. That is how this particular story ends finally. So this is a beautiful story. It is a fairy tale, so you should know like what is that they are trying to tell, that it is an easy and simple story where the mother's love and the son's love, and finally if you're not greedy enough, you will reach the heavens. That is the final gist of this lesson. Short story. The What is the story name of the story? The uh, it's a Chen story, right? Okay, so let's finish up with this lesson, and we'll meet you in the next lesson.